Hi, I'm Sarah Vickers-Webb with Santa Cruz Tech Beat, and I'm here with Peggy Dolgenos, the CEO of Cruzio. How are you doing today?
I'm fine as possible in these weird times. But yeah, nice to meet you. Nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you too. I know there's a lot obviously going on right now. But we're still luckily a lot of at least a lot of people here are having the internet so they can keep tabs on what's going on. I guess that's one. I know that you guys have been working on that.
I
So
think everybody who can is on the internet, and working from home. Obviously, it's definitely required. And then everything else you need it for too. Movies, to watch a movie now, almost all the entertainment, communicating with your friends. It's really vital right now.
yeah. So since shelter in place, people are depending on reliable internet more than ever. Um, how have your day-to-day operations changed at Cruzio?
Well, yeah, that's exactly it. And our whole, mission for the last 10 years or more has been to get better high quality internet all over Santa Cruz County. And it's a huge challenge because our county is, there are hills, there are lots of trees. It's different from like a flat plain state like Kansas or something where it's easy to install infrastructure. But we've had to replace all the infrastructure, the old phone lines in the county, with other types of communication methods. And a lot of that is fiber or fiber backed wireless. And so we've just been working for years and years to do that. And then this hits us, and it's even more important, and people want it even more.
Mhm.
And there's a saying that when the tide goes out, you can see who's not wearing a bathing suit. So now, when people aren't at school, when the libraries aren't available, it becomes more obvious who doesn't have good internet and where that is. People aren't going to work and using the internet there to do their work, or even, some people will download stuff or communicate it at work. Now those people are home, and if they don't have good facilities at home, if the infrastructure doesn't reach them, it's really dire for them in a lot of ways. We used to call it the digital divide. We used to talk about the digital divide all the time. And it kind of got solved by schools getting better internet, libraries got better internet, cafes. There were all kinds of places you could go. Now you can't really go there, and the digital divide is rearing its ugly head. It's back. So we are an essential service, and right away we just started getting people as quickly as we could all over the county doing installations, and we're still doing it. We're running ragged, and at the same time we're having to forgive a lot of, especially businesses, who can't pay. They've been closed down, they've been shut down, or we've been doing a lot of work with low income residents, and so we have less revenue, but we're working twice as hard. And it's just part of being around and being necessary in this difficult time for all of us to try to pitch in and contribute and try to make things better.
Yeah. In an article from the end of April that I read, you wrote about how business has in fact picked up for Cruzio during the pandemic. So what has your staff done to deal with the increased workload? Have you hired more people, or have people volunteered? What has happened?
Yeah, we did. We actually did hire a few more people, and we've got, I think, one or two more coming on right now. And yeah, and we've just been having a full schedule all the time. I think the positive part of it is that we a lot of times what we're doing is we're putting new infrastructure into to go to people's houses, because the old phone lines don't carry internet well enough. So we've got to get them something else. So generally that means that we have to go to their house and install something. And so normally people aren't home, and it's hard to, can we come Thursday? What about between 4 and 8 on, like it's all these different things. But right now it's actually really easy to make appointments to go to people's houses because everybody's home. So we've actually been able to ramp up our production to serve people like boom, 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 and get to more people faster. But you know, I have to say this is something that we've all needed anyway. It really needed to go to, you know, be equalized around the county. We call it, our project to do this is Equal Access Santa Cruz, saying rural people, low income people, everybody needs that internet, and we've got to, you know, and it's expensive to get it to them, but we've got to have that project to keep going, to keep getting it out there. And so accelerating it somewhat during this crisis, you know, it'll end up being a good thing because it was needed anyway.
Yeah, I know that because now that students are learning remotely, the discussion of internet access has really become an issue of a civil rights issue. So you've already mentioned you've mentioned installing, you know, forgiving certain fees, things like that. What else has Cruzio done to ensure that students across the county can participate in online learning?
Well, right away we got in touch with the County Office of Education and we said, what can we do? We know that there's a need here. There are a lot of low-income students in our county. And so we've been working with them, and they've been sending us customers who we've set up for free for the first 3 months, and then very low cost after that. And so that's been helping to get more houses connected, more families connected. And that has been really interesting because a lot of these families have never had internet in their house, you know, ever. And so it's kind of a different level of communication that we have to explain stuff and everything to them. And I have to say that our sales manager, Jesus Lopez, has been amazing. And talk about, you know, taking an extra on to try to, you know, we're all participating in this and we're all trying to make things better. And he just took hundreds and hundreds of calls by himself from families calling and saying, I heard that you had this program. You know, the minute we announced it, by the next day we'd had 200 calls. He took all the calls, he returned all the calls. A lot of people said, hey, you know, no one else has been helping me. Nobody else has been getting back to me. And I just really feel like he did a great job. And so far we've got dozens and dozens of people. We've been doing about between 20 to 25% of our installations have been for the Equal Access program, where we're providing it for students who live in places where they can't access the internet. So it's actually a really big part of the work that we're doing. And it's hard because there are, you know, we've done so many, but there are so many left to go. And the months keep going. You know, those are students who don't have the ability to attend school the way that their peers do. And what the teachers are telling us sometimes is that the students are lost. They just disappear. You know, they just can't come, they can't participate, and the teacher has no way of reaching them really. So for us to do that work is very important, and I wish we could do it faster. Another thing that we've done is we opened up internet drive-ins. So our idea was that, like, you know, in the old-fashioned drive-in, you drive your car and you'd sit there and there'd be the movie and everybody's in their car watching. And we thought, well, you could have your laptop in a car and have Wi-Fi, like in a Wi-Fi cafe, only it's, you know, it's a drive-in, and you stay safe. You don't leave your car and you're in your own environment. And then you just do your work, or you download a movies to watch later at home. So we've opened up, I think so far about 4 of those, and we're looking for more spaces to do it. We've done that in some homeless encampments and that sort of thing, to try to make sure that everybody has internet. And the internet drive-ins, there's one, if you go to the plaza in downtown Watsonville, if you park your car right near the plaza, you'll be able to get free internet. There's no password. The same next to the library in Santa Cruz. in downtown Santa Cruz. There, you can just drive in, park in the lot for a little while, no password, incredibly good internet. I mean, we're trying to serve lots of people at the same time. So hopefully those kinds of things give an outlet to people who we can't reach quickly enough with, you know, installing and getting equipment there and that whole thing.
Wonderful. Yeah, I heard Monterey County is starting to do something similar too, with a kind of drive-in. I think it's wonderful. So thank you for that. And now you are also currently offering no contact installations. Can you tell me how that works?
Well, thank you for asking about that, because I always forget to mention it and people get on my case about that. The no contact installs, obviously, you know, there are a lot of people in their homes who are afraid of infection. And, you know, we don't want any of our staff to get infected either. So this is a two-way street. You know, we want everybody to be safe. So, like I said, you know, we need to go to people's houses. We need to install equipment on the outside of their house a lot of times. And so what we did was we just devised a way where we don't actually have to go into the people's house at all. Usually we'd go in, we'd shake hands, we'd, you know, explain, we'd help them, you know, here, where is your computer and all that stuff. And we'd love to do that. But right now, it's not the time for a lot of hands-on, handshaking, you know, big hug at the end. Wow, we love each other. We do love you. We love everybody, but it's time for us to keep a safe distance. So what we do is we go to the house and we're able to do all our work from outside the house. And then we are masked, we are gloved, very careful, and we will deliver the equipment to the doorstep. And then we will explain at a safe distance, you know, what to do, how to set it up. And our tech support staff, I guess when we were talking about the day-to-day experiences, I didn't mention a lot of us are working from home. You know, this is my house right now. And our tech support staff is working from home. And we were worried that that would be difficult, but our IT department actually was incredible. They went to everybody's house, set everybody up with their computer from their desk at Cruz.io, you know, put their same computer, made sure the phone works, their phone extension goes right to their phone. So if anybody has trouble, they can always call tech support, and you know, it is going to someone's house, but you know, you don't necessarily have any idea about that. So yeah, and I think a lot of people are challenged with that working from home stuff, and we've had some challenges, but then again, it actually went a lot more smoothly than we ever expected. I mean, partly because of the internet, honestly. Like, in some ways, the internet has not worked out the way that our young, idealistic selves in the 1980s wanted it to be. But in some ways, the internet, like, we're able to do this right now. And that actually has worked out really well.
That's great. Yeah, I think this is one situation, I think, where it's been, I can't imagine what would have happened if it was when I was in school, what we would have done. I guess we would have had to come pick up packets at school or something. I don't know what we would have done.
In the horse and buggy age, you know, or whatever, like delivering things. Yeah. No, it's really interesting. It's like, it's coming at a certain time in technology, in the history of technology that we're all doing. And we were just ready with this kind of video conferencing, and the internet's just gotten fast enough that makes it practical for a lot of people. And then Cruz.io's job is to make it practical for everybody, if we can, as many people as we can.
Well, I mean, honestly, that and just your answers already have kind of answered my last question. But my last question is, so can you tell me something about Cruz.io during the pandemic, or your staff, company as a whole, that really makes you proud?
Yeah, that's true. I think I've probably just been proud the whole conversation. I am very proud of our staff and the way that we've faced this challenge. And like I said, you know, there have been times, especially in the last several years, when I was really disappointed with the way the internet was affecting our lives. And, you know, we really expected it to be able to bring communication just in a way that people could share more, could understand each other better. You might not know, but Cruzio was one of the first private internet companies in the country here in Santa Cruz. Yeah, it was very early. We started in 1989, and there wasn't even a World Wide Web until 1993. So we were doing all kinds of weird things, and there was a tech community that was very idealistic at the time, and we thought, oh, this is going to be the greatest thing ever. You know, you won't have to write your letter and put a stamp on it and put it in the mail. You know, you're just going to be able to communicate with people. And then in the last few years, I was like, wow, this is really being misused. You know, there's the false information going out. There's the polarizing of people, you know, siloing people into their own crazy, sometimes interest groups. But in a pandemic, I have to say I am proud that we have the internet and that we've been able to connect so many people so well, and then to continue to do so and continue to try to get everybody who needs it better internet. That definitely is our mission, and our staff is great. And you know, anybody who works with us, I don't want them to have problems. I don't want them to have issues, but I kind of like it when they do, because then they get to talk to us, and we're really great. You know, our tech support staff, our engineers, they're actually really great, and they're all local people, you know, and they'll spend the time. So yeah, those are things that I'm proud of, and I hope to see our whole community come together and rebuild after this disaster that we've been having. And I hope that Cruzio can be a part of that. We're really trying to take it easy on people, help businesses get restarted, you know, help people who've been unemployed and various other things. Because I really want to urge everybody to do what they can. We've all got to work together, because this has really hit us hard, and it's going to be hard to get out of, you know, to come out of. So everything that people can do for each other, it's kind of like after the great earthquake, for those of us who were here back then, we've got to execute together and all do our best to keep things, to return things to where they were and make them even better, basically.
Great. Well, thank you so much for speaking with me, Peggy. And is there anything else you'd want anybody to know about Cruzio right now, or are we?
No, I don't think so. And thanks so much, Sarah. It actually was really fun talking to you. So I appreciate it.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I'll see you later.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.